You notice that after World War II, there was not many decades before the most popular car in North America was the Volkswagen and the Japanese cars. Not very long after you're fighting with people, then you're told to be friends. After they put them in internment camps, then now we're friends now. 1 minute disco's great, another minute disco sucks. 1 minute this is good, 1 minute we got Madonna posters in our record stores. We never heard of her. Not like the Paolas or Hart, who played at our gymnasiums and stuff and grew organically. Vancouver, ground zero for the real estate cancer. See, this is what the 80s were like. What does Vancouver have in common? Let's see, we got Michael J. Fox. By the way, this is the way we really dressed in the 80s. And this is the way we really were. We had a tomboy, Jennifer, and then we had Mallory. We did dress. We had all different kinds of styles. And they matched our hair. Like our hair could accommodate our clothing. And our fashions that we could find in the malls accommodated. You can't really accommodate certain things without the right haircuts. Michael J. Fox had a tremendous haircut too. I just want to show you this cute blouse and thing. I mean, this is the clothes that we had, aren't that? Isn't that cute? Not just one track minded was the 80s. So if you want to know about what we grew up wearing as a Generation X, you watch Family Ties. And same with the guys' hairstyle. They don't know how to cut hair anymore. Even for the guys, it looks like some kind of Frodo got too much gel in his hair since 2001. What else came out of Vancouver was this fellow here, Walk with Jan. Excellent show. Turns out, I'm going to see this interview. I haven't seen him for 30 years, but it turns out that Stephen Yan, not Martin Yan, the real Stephen Yan, very popular. He even went to David Letterman, but unfortunately he ended up putting Vancouver on the map, and same with Hollywood North when they started to film, so that when the Hong Kongers were fleeing China, no one asked, why are they fleeing? No one cared. They just liked their money. They did. The white people of Vancouver didn't complain. So this is a 40-year experiment now, since the 80s. Because even though China and Hong Kong were kind of at enmity, people were always, since the revolution, the Maoist purge of culture, where they were going to lose everything. Watch the Magnum P.I. episode with France Nguyen. She states it very quickly. All of the culture was gone. Hong Kong has been the holding place, but then they thought they were going to escape to Vancouver in the late 80s, the rich people, before 97, but even after Tiananmen Square, Clinton got the Three Gorges Dam built and Walmart got all the contracts, so the new world order was actually the new China Big Idea order. The big idea was the big China. And now we got poor Chinese people working in jobs that they really shouldn't be working at. They shouldn't be doing anything but listening to these beautiful harps and playing beautiful things and making beautiful things, because it's the heart of Tafiti. They're the heart. In the medicine wheel of the native Indians, you got the red, white, black, and yellow, and the yellow guards the heart. Now the heart is broken. The heart needs to be returned. That's Tafiti in the Maui story. Now my point was real estate. I'm going to be talking about real estate. Real estate in Vancouver, or in the environs where this guy was filming. This was in Coquitlam, where Terry Fox ran, and also where very near Burnaby, where Michael J. Fox was born. Coquitlam, also where Dorothy Stratton worked at the Dairy Queen. Okay, this is all in a little triangle. And I went to high school here at one point, but I was all over the Lower Mainland, and I know it very well. And I know the times very well. I don't like listening to that. But so Expo 86 came about. I thought, what the hell is this? It's gross. It's weird. It's kind of like a big for sale sign, and I didn't understand it. I had a season's pass, but I went once. They made a big deal out of SkyTrain. This is very hard to spit out, but anyways, very soon after, it was a welcome sign to all of our houses going up by 5 times. fine. I didn't own a house. I was just a teenager. I thought I had a future. All the people in Vancouver over 20 years had to move out to Surrey and Langley, which is a big, they all had to move. But there was no civil war. This was a slow migration, just like the Egypt was taken down by the Sea Peoples, which is a form of immigration. It wasn't standing armies, it was this immigration of families. So what happened was the first wave, our governments were in on it. If you watch the documentary called The Rankin File about Harry Rankin, made very recently, a miraculous documentary, you can actually look and find how they elected Gordon Campbell during the time. This is ground zero for the world, okay? So when you have a house, and even though this is why everyone is complicit and nobody cares about the Chinese people and ultimately themselves, because it's a small world after all, because you're shitting in your own nest, which is the planet. You got a globe here, you got China here, you got the West here, and you press down here and it pops up here, press here, 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 sizzle, 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 sizzle. Yeah, if you want some quiet here, you get some action here. You want some action here, you get some quiet here. This is walk stuff. Anyway, that's how the world is working. But what we've got now is a malignant cancer, because the price of a house in the Lower Mainland, Coquitlam, you say, in some things, is about $10 million. You could say, of course, these are mansions. But even back in the day, on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, you wouldn't have, like, even Howard Hughes didn't have these mansions that cost that much. Did they? I don't know. But a lot, they didn't. But we're still alive, and that's the problem. It's not like this is some sort of a progression of a million years. It's a progression of like one lifetime, which we're still alive in, and having to deal with the iniquity and greed of the children who are probably just, they can't. No one can own a house there. It's been going on a long time, and as a person who believed in biblical prophecy, we just didn't complain because we thought, well, this is how the world is going to finish and Jesus is going to come and stop it. Didn't happen. So that's why I'm in the fight, because I realized, okay, well, this is I was groomed to see this, so I have to be part of the fight, or at least give people some kind of a chance to know. Now, it's like an Ibsen play. I just was told that one of his Ibsen plays, a classic, was about a doctor who lived in a city. He found out the well was poisoned, but when he told the authorities, they were very afraid that it would affect their business and money and stuff like that. So they said, no, don't tell anyone. And then he thought they were nuts and evil. But then when he told the whole village, then they all backed up the bad guys who wanted to keep it a secret. And he said, these people are mad. They're being poisoned, but they don't want the truth. Ibsen, I forget the name of it. But this is basically what we're all doing. But the thing is that's different about this is that it's going to affect. Well, I don't think it is different actually. So it's a real estate, but it is a cancer. It is a cancer. I don't know what magic wand you're going to use to stop this, because you need some magic wand. That nigga was right. That guy was right, about that. You need a magic wand, because they knew how much they had destroyed it from at the cellular level. They knew that it was gone. There was no fixing Humpty Dumpty. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm not really into certain people in the camps, and I'm not into game theory, but, have at it. Now, another reason why we don't have freedom is because back in the day when we looked good, nobody made a big deal out of it. No one said, oh, you look good. No one had eyes on us like too hard. And yet now we do. We can't make a move without someone commenting about the way we look. If it's good, I mean. So in that regard, because we live in a world with such a lack of beautiful and delightful things, because we live in a world with some kind of a unresolved discrimination between what we see and what we know from our history and what we know and what we're looking at. There is such a vast difference even in this thing, this isn't happening in China. This is Hong Kong, but no one knows it. But anyway, the point is this, is that when you grow up with freedom, it makes you smarter. Just like Americans got real smart on an individual basis because of the freedom. But the problem is the fear also of losing their life for whatever reason turns you into a son of a bitch bastard. And that's so. And we had a lot of really wonderful self-help people, like this Vernon Howard. I was listening to him, and it's like, wow, it makes sense. It's so beautiful. But then it all makes sense. Personal development makes sense unless a house costs $5 million now. It's not the same. There's no way to get self-help, personal development. You can't develop in a cancer. Secondly, plus when people are making a big deal out of it, out of everything, whether you look good, everyone makes a big deal out of it. I don't want people. Then you're self-conscious. So self-consciousness and a cancer has reared its ugly head to the limits. And also, so what I was going to say about this guy who said whatever. What was he saying about about the big deal? This is just so amazing. Okay, so it's delightful. Discrimination. But just look at these images. These are Stephen Yan in Hong Kong. This is very disturbing because I'm going to see where he's at now, but he doesn't realize, he probably felt guilty because he helped sell Vancouver. I feel guilty because I kept help selling certain things to people, and then it backfired. So it's a cancer, and it's a self-consciousness. There's no freedom. You can't evolve in a cancerous society. There's no. Oh yeah. This is what I was gonna say. Remember, the old fortune cookies have changed. The new ones are just awful. The old ones really had some wisdom in there. So, for fun, when we were kids, we would say, "Read your fortune cookie," but at the end of it, say, "In bed." And it would be funny because you could almost apply everything to it, and it was funny because it was like in bed or something. So now you could say everything that's good, but you could add to the bottom and say, except now because the house costs too much. And hello, it's going westward, people. It started California, Oregon, Vancouver, BC, and all that stuff, all the way down because of oceanfront property. It's moving in. It's moving in. Now, of course, you could be like Lex Luthor and buy, because eventually your house is going to get expensive over here. Or you could throw the shit show over, because it's iniquity, it's a cancer. Life is not about money, but they've made it that way because you cannot live without it. You can't have it. Someone asked, one of the good guys said, what do you think your neighborhood needs, right? Oh, there's no neighborhoods anymore. You can't have your lollipops at the store. You can't buy your little penny cent candies. Or how is this guy paying his rent? The world has changed, people. Started ground zero in Vancouver, my hometown. I am the lone wolf. Oh, no. I love lobsters. I don't want to see that. Crap-a-looey. Sorry, but that's almost how I feel, like that poor lobster. Have a wonderful day.